It is up, everyone. This is Captain Neon speaking, and I would like to share from chapter 48, verses 28 and 40, on the idea of this or that. Now, the text really was talking about Moab and their plight, their punishment, so on and so forth. But it was the specific mention of the dove finding shelter in the cleft of the rock face, the cliff face, in verse 28, and the mention of the eagle in verse 40 that had me thinking about this or that. Specifically, I was under the previous misconception that I had to be that. I had to be the best, the baddest, the loudest, the eagle, the lion, that apex predator. Can't be no punk, right? And this line of thinking followed me, or stayed with me, all the way into my walk with God. Not only did it stay with me, but it seemed to have been reinforced by others in the walk that, hey, the manly man. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe when God says that there are roles for the man and the woman, and that these things are right. No matter what society is saying and how they're trying to deconstruct His perfect will, what He has established will forever remain. But it is this hyper masculinity. It is this alpha mentality, if you know what I'm saying. And that thinking is opposed to what God is so graciously imparting to me about what this Christian walk is about. That it is not about being a lion, but living as a lamb. It is not about wanting to be this raptor, but to be this dove. And He shows me this so perfectly by becoming my perfect example. I had to think on I didn't have to, but I do think about the nuances of the two when making my comparison. And God shows me that while the eagle has these large nests and they build them up way high on high structures, like in trees, in civilization down where I'm at, you actually see them on electric poles, the wooden poles. And while they're large and high up, they're basically exposed to the elements. Whereas the nest of the dove, I actually had the privilege of having a dove nest in a bedroom window of mine. And she did so in the safest place of the railing, protected from the wind and the elements. And while it wasn't as big and majestic and high up like the eagles, it was better protected. Likewise, here in the scripture reference, he mentions the doves that actually nest in the cliff face. It's like their own high rise. The rock of the cliff is not going anywhere, so you can't get any surer of a foundation than that. And then it's actually in such a place where predators can't get to it. Once again, safe and secure. On the other side, you have the lion, fierce and the king of the jungle, and it's to be admired as royalty. But God is showing me that there's a reason why there is a survival of the fittest, why only the strong survive in the wild. Because it's every lion for themselves. And if you look at it, the life of a lion is not that long, and it's pretty hard. Whereas the life of a lamb in the master's fold has no worries, doesn't have to fight and scrounge and hunt because all of its needs are provided for. And that's why the lamb, the sheep of his pasture, get to lie in green pastures beside still waters. That life of quiet and ease that God was mentioning to me in yesterday's treatment. So here God is showing me that there is a reason for everything. And the only way that I've seen it's possible for me to continue on this following the master is to do away with my reasoning. That's that total reliance on he who is all. Capti on this. What will it be? That part? Or right this way? Sir.